Welcome to the Stepmom Side with Alicia, the podcast for stepmoms ready to create the life they want and one they actually have a say in. Here we talk all things stepmom life and just a little bit more. Leave the superficial conversations at the door and get ready for perspective shifts and actionable advice to help you on your way to creating the life you want, one step at a time. Hey there, welcome back to the Stepmom Side Podcast. I'm going to do another mini-series because these seem to be really helpful, but this mini-series is going to be called Why Blended Families Feel So Hard and What Actually Helps. So there's going to be 4 episodes about them. The first one we're going to dive into, welcome, this is going to be the first one. It's about why you feel like an outsider in your own home and how we can just kind of navigate this, because I want to talk about something that almost every stepmom has felt, but doesn't always say out loud. You can love your partner. You can deeply care about your stepkids, and you can still feel like you're living in someone else's house. Maybe you sit at the dinner table and everyone else has stories from before you existed. They have traditions, they have inside jokes, memories, way of doing things. And meanwhile, you're just sitting here thinking, where exactly do I fit? And if that's you, I need you to hear this. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. You're experiencing one of the most common experiences in stepmotherhood. And it sucks, and it's really hard, and it's really painful, and it's really, the strongest woman is going to stumble and struggle with this. I remember sitting at dinner and just being like, how much longer? How much longer am I trapped at this table, right? So let's talk about why this happens. And you'll notice over this podcast mini-series, there's been several topics that I've already talked about, but I want to tie them all in one mini-series so you can just find them and just start listening. So moving into it, why this happens. Blended families, as you know, don't start from zero. You're entering relationships that already have history. These people loved each other before you arrived. And I'm speaking about your partner and the kids here. We're going to leave their mom out of it or their other parent out of it. They fought before you arrived. They created routines before you arrived. They had traditions before you arrived. That doesn't mean there's no room for you. However, that's definitely how we make it, right? It simply means you're joining something that's already in motion. And then society makes it worse. We're sold this idea that stepmom should instantly feel like a family, like you love them and they love you and everything is amazing. There's no awkwardness, there's no uncertainty, there's no growing pains. It's as if you walk into the house and magically you feel like you've belonged there forever. That is not what happened to me. There were definitely parts of that, and then things happened and I definitely did not feel like that anymore. But that's not how humans work. Belonging takes time. Remember, they have history together. You don't have history with them. So we need to work on you guys building history, right? Now that we've talked about why this happens, let's talk about the pitfalls. When we don't feel like we belong, we start trying to earn our place. Remember? I just talked about that a few episodes ago. We don't feel like we belong, so we start trying to earn our place. We overfunction. We do everything. We solve everyone else's problems. We become the planner, the organizer, the peacemaker, and the emotional support person for not only your partner, but for everyone. We bend ourselves into pretzels hoping someone finally says, hey, congratulations, you belong here. Or you get that nod of approval, or you get that gold star, or you get that trophy. You get the medal, whatever it is. But here's the heartbreaking part. No amount of doing creates belonging. What it does create, though, is exhaustion. Eventually, you lose yourself. You stop asking, what do I need? When is the last time that you asked yourself, what do I need? As I'm asking this, I'm like, when's the last time I asked myself, what do I need? And I'm like, oh yeah, I know. It was last night when I word vomited about how I'm tired of doing everything for everyone. Literally this exact same conversation. And I'm like, oh, you know what I need is some downtime, some quiet time by myself without everyone else. Because you're so busy worrying about everyone else. I'm so busy worrying about everyone else. You start seeking validation everywhere. Did I make dinner right? Do the kids like me? Did I upset anyone? Am I enough? Am I doing enough? Do they actually like me? Oh no, what did I do to make them mad? You became You become trapped in proving your worth. And I don't want that for you. Getting on that hamster wheel, like I said to you, like last night, I realized that this was happening. I can recognize it, I understand it, and I know what's happening. And it still happens to me. So like, it's not just like you heal and then everything is fine. No, my friend, like, as you know, growth isn't linear. Like there's up and downs, like on that chart. It's not like one straight line. That would be amazing if it was, but it's not. So part 3 to this is what actually helps. First, stop auditioning. You're not applying for the stepmom role. You're already in it. Stop auditioning, by meaning like, and this is just, I don't know, like a note to myself too. You don't need everyone to like you 100% of the time. And if everyone likes you 100% of the time, you're doing something wrong. Like you're lying to someone. Have you heard that phrase, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one? And I'm like, oh, dang. Second, stop trying to force one giant family relationship. Build individual relationships. I know like sometimes you're like, oh, well, it's easier to just do like a bunch of family time because it's easier and it takes like the pressure off of me. Well, yeah, but it also creates this like other dynamic. And sometimes it just felt weird to me, like this dynamic of like, I know obviously my husband really well, but like the kids, if I'm trying to build a relationship with them, it's hard to build a relationship with them when I'm already really close to this one person and then not really them. And so I just try to like tend to navigate towards that other person or gravitate towards that other person. So I'm like, So stop trying to force one giant family relationship. Build individual relationships. Get to know your stepkid or your stepkids as themselves, as whoever it is that they are. Your relationship with your partner will look different than your relationship with your stepdaughter, with your stepson. Your relationship with one child may be completely different from the other one. That's okay. Like, can I just take a minute to just tell you, like, that's okay. It's okay if you really, really, really like one of your stepkids and are like, on the other one. That's okay. That is okay. And honestly, it's more common than you think. I just knocked over my chopstick. It's more common than you think. It's okay. Create your own traditions. Maybe it's Taco Tuesday. Maybe it's silly movie marathon. Maybe it's getting ice cream after soccer. Your family doesn't need to recreate what's existed before. Let me tell you, please don't do that because you will feel like every time something comes up, like it will just be, oh my gosh, like all of the things, right? You get to create something new. And if you need inclusion, ask for it. Stop waiting and hoping for people to notice. You can even say, this sounds really weird, it sounds really awkward to say, like, I'd love to be a part of that. And I've shared this before, but my husband and stepkids would like do something like watch a movie or maybe they'd play a board game or whatever. I wouldn't join because I wasn't invited. And I remember it came out in like not a really great way. I had said to him like, well, you guys never even invite me to play your games. And he was like, what are you talking about? Of course you're invited. I'm like, well, it doesn't feel that way when you guys just start playing a game and no one even invites me. And he just kind of looked at me like, ma'am, are you okay? Like, do you need to be checked into a psych ward? Like, what is happening? Of course you're invited. It's explicit that you're invited. I don't need to invite you to every single thing because you're already invited. You need to learn to take up space. And I was like, I don't like this. But it did change when I started to be like, hey, can I play? And then it got to the point where I didn't even say that. Or like, hey, can I watch this with you? Or hey, can I, do X, Y, and Z with you guys? Then it got to the point where I didn't even ask. It was just assumed. Everyone else automatically assumed that I was invited. I was the crazy person and just automatically assumed that I was the outsider. I was feeding that story of I'm the outsider. I'm always going to be the outsider. All of the things, right? Like the story that you feed is the story that you believe. So there you go. And finally, remember this. Your belonging isn't granted by the children. They don't get to determine your value. They don't get to determine your place. You belong because you exist within this family system. Period. Okay? So stop asking for start asking for your inclusion, but stop asking for other people to determine your worth. And you're not even really asking them consciously, but you are subconsciously when you're like, okay, how do they act towards me today? How do they, you're, as my husband would tell me, like, you're giving away your power. And I'd be like, no, I'm not. They're taking it. And he's like, no, Alicia, you're giving it away. It took me a long time to see that. But here's the thing. You don't become family because you worked hard enough. You become family because you already are. You're in the situation, so now we're going to assume that we're family. And it's a lot easier to be a family when you assume that you are, rather than being like, I'm the outsider. Don't do what I did, okay? Learn from my mistakes. And if you're currently like in the situation where you are just assuming that you are the outsider and you keep like perpetuating that, come see me. Come see me on office hours inside the Stepmom Side community. Like, that's the best. Because if you're tired of feeling like the odd woman out in your home, please come join us inside the Stepmom Side community. Why? Because you deserve the support that you want and desperately need from women who actually understand what this feels like. And not just, my partner doesn't get it. Of course your partner doesn't get it, because your partner's not a stepmom. Your partner's not a step-parent. More chances than not. So come join us inside the Stepmom Side community. But I will chat with you next week. Thanks for taking time to listen to this week's episode. If anything was helpful or resonated with you, please share it on social media and tag me. I'm just at Alicia Crosco. And if you could leave a 5-star rating and a review while you're at it, that would also be really helpful. And if you find yourself struggling with your stepmom journey and you want a little bit more support without the hefty price tag of coaching, you might want to check out the Stepmom Side community, which is my own private community for stepmoms, where you get to connect with other stepmoms around the world and myself, where I hold weekly office hours and monthly group coaching. It's kind of like you have your own personal coach in your own back pocket. Again, without that hefty price tag. See you next week.